This is our final video in the Lenten series, and in fact, it marks the end of Lent with Easter. Now, most people don't think of celebration as a spiritual practice, and certainly not a spiritual discipline, because when we say discipline, we always assume that there is some kind of hard or unpleasant aspect to it. But there's not to celebration, except for some of us as Christians. It's pretty hard to celebrate. Things around us just have become so ordinary. We've become so used to them. Even the seasons of the Christian year roll around, roll around, roll around. But we celebrate on Shrove Tuesday, before Ash Wednesday, before Lent begins. Here we have a jazz mass, and we celebrate on Easter Sunday. We process the Christ candle. We read the gospel from the middle of the congregation. It is truly a celebration, an expression of joy. The fast has ended. It's the time once again that we take what we've learned from all of the introspection, from all of the other spiritual practices, and we live that out in our lives, so that our very lives become an expression of joy, an expression of that celebration that doesn't depend on circumstances, doesn't depend on birthdays or holidays or any other special occasion, other than the fact that God is present with us at every moment of our lives. That's the best news I know. That's news to celebrate. That's what we, as the followers of Jesus, celebrate, not just on Easter, but every single day that we live. There's a line from Rumi, the poet Rumi, I like a lot. He says, "Those of you whose job it is to raise the dead, wake up. It's a work day." I think that's a message to all of us. So for all of us who have experienced this new life, this resurrection, and whose job it is not simply to talk about it, but to enter into the lives of other people in our community as people whose work is to raise the dead, we'll get up. It's a work day.
The best part of the party is just, a lot of people expect me to say cake or ice cream, but I love hanging out with my friends and just talking.
I usually do like crazy stuff, like my friends and I put on plays and we just go crazy and dance.
One time when I celebrated at church, I was younger and it was pancake supper, and I think me and Olivia probably ate a lot of pancakes.
Yeah. And then one time I celebrated, it was like the Easter lunch or something, and like a bunch of us, like me and my friends, we played tag.
I think God is part of the party anywhere because he's everywhere. And like with birthdays, like he made us, so it's the celebration of him creating us.
I think God is part of the celebration because he wants us to have fun and he's always rooting for us.
I think God's part of the party because he like brings the party to us because he's the one that made the party happen.
God is with us when we celebrate with my family because we have love for each other and we have our life and we're thankful for everything we have.
One of the main purposes of developing Lenten video series was to help us develop spiritual practices in our lives. I want to encourage you to think about this past Lent. Was it different than other years? How was it different? Was there something that you cultivated this year that you haven't in the past? If there was a particular week that was meaningful for you, maybe you developed a new practice of healing, maybe a new practice of prayer, or stewardship in a new way. I would love for you to continue to incorporate that in your life and cultivate it somehow over the summer and into the fall. Because spiritual practices really are about knowing ourselves, loving God, and loving each other more fully to live into what it means to be a disciple of Jesus Christ.